Hello, welcome to Art Productions. So, remember to subscribe and like, and remember, we put the horror on Halloween.
The Terrifier franchise has honestly made quite a splash in the horror genre. It just recently started in only 2016 and has already made himself one of the biggest horror characters in fiction. And honestly, the movies also speak for themselves. Sure, the first movie is bullied because it has terrible acting and no story, but that movie was honestly just made as almost a trailer so that he could get Art out there to make his dream movie, which was the second movie. Which is why you could notice the second movie was genuinely so much better with upgraded practical effects. Alright, let's really dive into it. Immediately, the first movie was released in 2016, but it did have a bigger release in 2018. So I guess that's when you could say it was truly pushed. Director David Leone, who was the main director, he made this movie with $35,000 and a dream. And it really paid off. People loved it and had a small cult following. The trilogy has garnered attention not for just being a horrifying narrative about, a killer clown who doesn't speak, but also art. Art alone has just blown up. People love the way he's scary and the way he's pretty funny. He's a very funny character who's really goofy, but he can also, be terrifying. He is genuinely super scary, but he's also very funny. So in this review, we're going to be taking a closer look. I wouldn't say closer. This is a pretty quick review of every movie, but we will be taking a look at Terrifier 1, 2, and the recently released Terrifier 3. Don't worry, this is a spoiler-free review, so don't expect any, no snitches. That's what the gangsters say. Okay, so we're probably going to be looking at how the movies explore the impact, themes, and really elevate the horror genre. Who am I kidding? It's Terrifier. You're not fucking here for that. You're here for me to fucking shit on the first movie, which I don't. Fuck you, bitch. Fuck. Set on Halloween night, Terrifier follows a group of friends who encounter a sadistic clown named Art the Clown, obviously portrayed unnervingly by David Howard Thornton. From the offset, Art is not your typical whimsical clown. He embodies sheer male violence. Honestly, Patrick Bateman levels of I'm a Sigma male while fucking cutting your head off. He just doesn't speak. He's literally fucking tearing your face off. It's creepy as hell. Alright, and honestly, he just has that Terrifier grin, that terrifying ass grin plastered over his face, and an arsenal of demented actions. I mean, his character is both iconic and really haunting, elevating the film into a category of horror that is unapologetically brutal and graphic as hell. Alright, one of the standout elements of Terrifier is its commitment to practical effects. A nod to classic slashers from the 80s, the gore is intense and feels visceral, dude, with scenes that push the boundaries of on-screen violence for viewers desensitized by modern CGI elements. Terrifier offers a refreshing return to practical makeup and effects. Beautiful look. And it's honestly a highlight. Every kill, except the final kill where he just chokes the guy, is so groundbreaking. Okay? Look, David Leone's direction keeps this insane way he's going. I do genuinely think Art will be top tier art. But also, let's go on to the fact that the film does not shy away from its horror roots, aiming to honestly inflict not just fear, but also discomfort. You're gonna watch this movie, and during a couple of scenes, you'll be looking away. It's a very discomforting film. The narrative is extremely straightforward. Now it's me saying nicely, there's no narrative. There's literally no story of this entire movie. Focusing primarily on the hunt and survival instincts of its characters, even though most of them, fuck, it's 5. Well, some may honestly critique the storyline, not blaming them, as it's thin, formulaic, really generic, and basically nothing. It is important, though, to recognize that Terrifier thrives on the excellent to concept rather than interactively plotting. It celebrates the pure adrenaline that comes from horror films, especially those who appreciate a good slasher. But I will say, I do wish there was a bit more of the story, which is why Terrifier 2 is so good. But we're going to really get into the performances, because all of them are garbage, except for one. David Howard Thornton as Art the Clown, he just brings this unique blend of physicality and charm. He's able to bring a murderer to life, and yet he gets fucking compilations about how cool he is. Because he has aura. He looks fucking dope walking around. So, making Art an unforgettable antagonist because of just how cool he is. The film also features a decent performance from its leads, mainly the lady who plays Victoria, I think her name is, I'm blanking, providing a very good emotional core. The best scene of acting is the scene where the lady gets in half, because both actors are giving good performances. Well, I will say the two main girls throughout most of the movie, not the final girl technically, I guess, though, are not really good performances throughout most of the movie. But I will say, first off, they've improved a lot. Watch Renfield, and the lady who plays the main character is really good, actually, in that film. She's really funny. But I do think that scene right there is so good. Her screaming is pretty convincing, and Art's laughter is really good. So I'm just going to say, drawing audience is obviously Art, but I'm going to say the blood is what kept them. Art secured them, and then the main characters slightly loosened it and then slightly tightened it. So it was like a little bit looser. I don't know what to say about that. Okay. But however, Terrifier, I'm just going to say, not for the faint of heart. Look, it's graphic content. May alienate viewers who prefer subtlety horror. Hitchcock, this is not. The film wears its gruesomeness on its sleeves, though, and it isn't shy about showcasing its brutality. For horror enthusiasts and fan of the slasher genre, this may be a welcome feature, but for others, maybe a significant drawback. Overall, Terrifier is bold and audacious. I said that wrong. Shut up. Film that succeeds taps into a primal fear. It challenges the limits of horror filmmaking with a very low budget while playing homage to its roots. Whenever you see its groundbreaking entry into the genre, problematic at least, displays of violence, it undeniably leaves an impression if you're a search for a gut-wrenching horror experience that doesn't hold back. Terrifier is a must-watch. Okay, ablit all the stuff. I'll give you a warning. If you're squeamish, oh god, just don't watch this movie. So immediately, the film picks up with the infamous Art the Clown, portrayed obviously by David Howard, who returns to unleash like a new wave of terror. Set on Halloween night again, the story follows a group of characters, which is notably different from the three from the beginning. Most notably, obviously, the young girl named Sienna, who demonstrates and confronts the supernatural horrors that Art is. First off, in the first movie, Art is definitely a normal dude, but in this movie, he's actually supernatural, which I think is fucking dope. So, what really makes Terrifier 2 stand out is it explains about, like, torment of his victims. Because he's not just killing Sienna, he's making her, like, he kills all of her friends before he kills her. So it's really psychological torment inflicted onto her. And honestly, they just weave this beautiful, dark story, comedy, not only scaring the audiences, but also really entertaining them. We're gonna get into the visuals and cinematography. Alright, my camera fell. Visuals and cinematography. So, okay. The visuals and cinematography. One of the most striking aspects of Terrifier 2 is its, visual storytelling. The film is beautifully shot with a blend of practical effects and cinematography that heightens the horror experience. The blood and gore are depicted with breathtaking realism. The only thing that's not realistic about them is how bright they are. The blood is a little bright for me, like it's not really dark, it's like literally Kool-Aid colored. So that's the only unrealistic part, but it is freakishly realistic, the way the sounds and the way he tears them apart. So it really is able to showcase the creative of the team commitment to making an authentic slasher vibe. The scenes are crafted with a metalist, I have no idea what that word is, attention to detail, making the horror tango and immersion so much better. Now let's get into the performances, because David Howard Thornton of Art the Clown is a major highlight. I mean, he deserves 8 Oscars. I mean, dude, the way he's able to make it funny but also scary is so cool, making Art really unforgettable in the horror. But honestly, the supporting cast cannot be bullied. Because, I mean, really. Let's get into Lauren Levone. Let me Google that. Oh, I spelled it wrong. Okay, so it's Laurie Laverne. Yeah, okay, so Laurie Laverne. Okay, Laverne. As Hannah, whose character really demonstrates some strength and determination to face an unimaginable horror. Imagine this guy just fucking murks your friends while smiling, and then you have to beat his ass. Personally, I'm leaving the town. Fuck my friends. Fuck everyone. I'm getting the fuck out. I'm going across the world, Bunko. The chemistry among the cast also adds some depth to the film. I'd say all actors have really good chemistry together, mainly the group of friends and Jonathan. They really fit. The group of friends, Jonathan and Sienna, really are the highlights of the film. Them and Art are the best performances in the entire movie. It also really makes the characters relatable, as they are kind of treated as just normal teenagers. They spike each other's drinks at Molly. Something that actually does happen. It's not good usually, though. It's also not usually your friend. It's usually a crackhead. Okay. Which really enhances the emotional stakes of the movie. I'm just gonna say, the movie is infinitely more fucking emotional due to this. But now, let's get into the themes. Beyond the blood and mayhem, Terrifier 2 dives into the various themes, such as fear, survival, and the nature of evil. It raises the question about what truly consistence horror, and how is it manifested in different forms. The film does a commendable job of exploring the psychological effects of trauma, while still delivering the visceral thrills that horror slash fans crave. But let's get into the soundtrack. The score of Terrifier 2 effectively amplifies the tension throughout. The music, combined with the well-placed sound effects, creates an eerie and atmosphere that leaves the viewers on edge. The sound design completes the visual horror, ensuring that every jump scare and surprise lands with impact. Alright, let's get into the conclusion though. First off, in conclusion, Terrifier 2 is a worthy and I mean more than worthy. It is 10 billion times better to the first film, successfully expanding the lore of Art the Clown while still leaving some mysteries, and while diving into the captive and horrifying experience. It especially blends gore with storytelling, leaving the fans eager, waiting what might come next. In this thrilling horror franchise, for those who do appreciate slasher films and are in for such an intense ride with suspense and creativity, Terrifier 2 is a by far must watch. But I will warn you, if you are squeamish, this one is even worse than the first film. Oh my god, there are parts, if you are squeamish, you're gonna be like during the first film, you'll probably be like this. During this film, you'll be like this. Just locked away. That film is fucking gory. Of course, I loved it, because I'm a fucking weirdo. But let us get into Terrifier 2. Terrifier 3 takes the horror genre to new heights with its chilling atmosphere and relentless thrills. Directed by Damien Leone, this installment continues the story of Art the Clown, who once again proves to be one of the most terrifying figures in modern horror. I mean, come on. The film successfully balances gore and suspense, making it a must-watch for fans of slasher flicks. From the beginning, the tension is palpable. The cinematography captures a nightmarish world where every shadow could have been a sinister surprise. The practical effects are nothing short of amazing. Still, everything's bright red, but I think that's just what they're going for at this point. So there's clearly something going on. But let's move on. Delivering visual moments that will leave some of the most seasoned horror fanatics covered in goosebumps. And to me, I had goosebumps. I love horror movies. I've been watching horror movies since I was 6 years old, and I still had goosebumps during this movie. Obviously, I didn't puke. I don't think 20 people puked during the premiere. I don't believe that. Neither me, nor John, nor Garen puked once. So, I don't know. Alright. But the cast develops a, honestly, commendable performance. Every performance is heightened even better, breathing real life into their characters and adding depth to the narrative, which is, something I didn't expect from Terrifier 3. I did not expect they were going to improve. I thought Terrifier 2 was perfect. It got way better. So, while introducing new elements that broaden the universe, the film dives into deeper themes of fear, survival, and madness, enveloping in it beyond shock value. Overall, Terrifier, so honestly, I would say, Terrifier 3 is beyond shock value. You know what you're getting into with these films. Everyone knows it's gore and blood. So at this point, the gore isn't shock. It's more of what they want to do. Alright, but overall, Terrifier 3 is a visceral, capsulating experience that both terrifies people, yet also kind of entertains them. Whether you're a die-hard fan of the franchise or a newcomer.
I went to a party, so the lights turned off in between this.
In conclusion, Terrifier 3 is a visceral, captivating experience that both terrifies and entertains. Whether you're a die-hard fan of the franchise or a newcomer, this film promises a thrilling ride that will linger long after the credits roll. Don't miss your chance to witness Art the Clown latest episode. If you dare, I suggest you go to the theaters and watch this movie. It is incredible. Unless you live in France and you're a child, then
Chase-Lad doesn't ask for more. Cutesy.
Fuck. In conclusion, the Terrifier trilogy has successfully captured the hearts and fears of horror enthusiasts and some non-horror fans who just are looking for a thrill. Each installment pushes the boundaries of what can be done in the genre, leaving viewers both horrified and honestly eager for more. While Art the Clown remains his terrifying self, the evolution of the storyline and themes suggests a deeper exploration on fear itself. An archive that is seldom seen in horror today. So whether you're a seasoned fan or a newcomer, I suggest Terrifier franchise is the way to start. Goodbye, and see you next time. Blah, blah, blah. Nah, 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 nah.